All right, so it's actually just online. There's been a lot of backlash with you know who Dwight Howard is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Basketball player. He was a center for like the Magic and the Lakers and
huge man.
Huge, big shoulders. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a video he shared on Instagram of him training his 9-year-old son. And I'll play it for you because people were pissed when they saw this.
Okay.
Come on.
I can't.
Come on.
I
Come
can't.
on. Come on.
I can't
Yes,
do
you
it.
can. Yes,
No, I
you
can't. I
Yes,
can't.
you can. Come on.
Looks like he's like on a elliptical.
Yeah. It's like
I want you to do it till I tell you to stop.
What?
Go, start. Let's go.
Trying to amp him up.
He's doing the
pushing.
exocycle thing with the arms. I don't know why he's smacking him in the ribs.
Maybe to focus his energy. Yeah, this kid. Yeah, okay, yeah. So anyway, he's crying. He's like, I can't, and he's pushing him, and people are saying he's pushed him too hard. What the hell, man? A lot of backlash from that.
I'll tell you this: chicks and kids have this fucking get out of jail free card where they can just start crying, and then America agrees with them. Like, kids figure it out early. They figure it. Girls do, and they will use the shit. They'll eat your fucking lunch because all they have to do, and they'll realize it, is like you could be telling your kid, you got to brush your teeth every night before you go to bed. If they burst into tears and go run and hug their mom will go, you're a fucking animal. What are you saying to this child? Like they figure it out. Just start the waterworks. America will take your side. The mom will take your side. You can get out of jail free as a kid if you cry. And you learn it and you use it.
Yeah.
Like it becomes weaponized. And then if you have two kids and one of them's a little bit stoic and the other one's a crier, the crier will just fucking get their way every single time. It's the easiest. It's a ruse. It's a scam. It's a grift. But if you have two kids and like one goes, I want to ride shotgun on the way out. And you go, okay, you can ride in the front seat on the way to Magic Mountain, but when we come home, you got to ride in the back seat, and then the boy's going to ride. When you're in the parking lot of Magic Mountain, like coming home, if she says I want the front seat and starts crying, you'll just go, oh, fuck it, take the front seat. Sorry, you're riding both ways in the back seat. You'll win every argument, and they learn it, and they know it, and they do it.
Use it, yeah.
Now, I don't know what this kid was up to, but I'm telling you, the bullshit cry is a super effective weapon.
Well, kids definitely do that to get some sort of attention because they need something when they're children. But I don't think every household does it that way. Like, I know, again, back to Nancy. If I cried, she'd let us cry.
Nancy's the name of your mom.
Nancy, yes.
Okay.
Nancy is the name of my
this.
mother, yes. Back to negative Nancy. She would let us cry. She did not baby us when it came to that. And she had a yardstick that she would use often on us if we misbehaved.
Wow.
So I think you're speaking to one portion of parenting. But also, this makes me think of, like, I just had this conversation about...
Well, it's pretty ubiquitous. Kids learn it. They learn to get their way. But it didn't work on you, Nancy.
No, it didn't work on Nancy. Nancy grew up in a house of like 8 kids on a farm. You could, if you cried, somebody else just walked over you and dealt with the pig or the cow or whatever.
Around here, it works.
In
It's
California,
effective.
it's definitely a specific thing. But speaking of a farm and what I just thought of, like back in the day, children worked earlier. They had to contribute. They had to do things. And childhood seems to be it was maybe like a fantasy for them back in the day because you didn't really have a childhood. Now we have this idea of what childhood is and this magical thing where they can go to Disney World and have all these beautiful moments. Not that they shouldn't, but children used to contribute and used to have to do difficult, adverse things because that was a part of survival for the tribe, part of survival for the family. And, you know, with the introduction of agriculture and farming, children worked the farm. I have a friend now who has 5 or 6 kids, and they have a huge farm, and the 2-year-old works.
He has
and enjoys it.
5 kids and doesn't recognize the 6.
Well, one was made out in the hen house, so we don't mention that child.
So, yeah. No, I agree. My whole thing is always kind of, no one wants to see a little kid crying.
No one wants to see a grown man cry.
But
let's be honest.
This kid does not have real problems. This kid lives in 14,000 square feet, has an elevator and a dumbwaiter somewhere in the house. Like there's kids with real problems. There's human trafficking going on. This kid's on a fucking Exta-cycle with an NBA All-Star smacking him in the ribs. He'll land on his feet.
Right.
That's a solid point.
He'll hate his dad too, probably, or maybe. I don't know.
Maybe as a child, but as an adult, he might appreciate it.
Yeah, he might. I think there's a thing that's real, which is, as I've always said about, all right, nobody wants their kids to play Pop Warner football anymore. They don't want there's no tackle football anymore. It's not doable. And I've been saying for a very long time, they're worried about injuries. And I've said for a million years, a broken finger heals, but being a pussy is a lifetime sentence. And you're going to have a lot of fucking pussies roaming around. As a matter of fact, I see it now. It's a generation.
Stop looking at me.
I look around. I say to Mike August 13 times a day, that guy didn't play organized sports. It's a fucking pussy. He doesn't know how to do this. He doesn't know how to take commands. He's not used to getting yelled at. He's not used to correcting himself. Like, there are so many lessons you learn on the football field that help you in life. It's unfucking believable. Yes, everyone gets injured playing football. Everybody. But it is a small price to pay to all the incredible lessons that you learn and that you take with you. So now we're raising kids in a snow globe.
Yeah.
There is no gravity anywhere. My house has no gravity. You walk in my house, you can swim in the air to the TV. You literally just
I've done that.
It's like Peter Pan.
Yeah,
you just get a little pixie dust, and you just go floating toward the big double door refrigerator. Or the second refrigerator.
Zero resistance.
That's a drawer, because somehow we need a drawer that's refrigerated to put other parts of food in. And everyone just floats around. And you go, oh, good, these kids get to do whatever they want. Like, they have all this stuff. But the reality is the best thing I could do for my kids, which I won't do, but the best thing I could do is go, hey, you get no more money. You want to go order Grubhub, get a fucking job. You're old enough to work. Go earn some money. Budget your money. Figure it out. Delayed gratification. Yeah, you want In-N-Out Burger on a Wednesday night, but you only have enough money for once. Why don't you wait till Friday night? That would be the best thing for everybody. No one's doing it, but it needs to be done. We're not helping these kids at all.
I love that perspective, though. You're like, I'm maybe raising assholes, but everyone else better fix it.
Better fix it.
You better fix it.
It's too late for him.
It's too late. The ship has sailed.
But don't you think, I agree with organized sports. I played organized sports. I think it's important to be on a team, that adversity and challenge and all of that, having to think for something other than yourself. But don't you think when it comes to football, we've learned enough to know that all these hits in the heads create aggression, create issues, in this sort of cyclical thing that happens in society with aggressiveness and men getting in trouble for hitting women. We know that there's a connection between CTEs, TBIs, and
That's
aggression.
the issue I hear more
I don't think
often
that's
than a broken pinky. It's the long-term
It's a
CTE
long-term-
effect. I mean,
Yeah.
every mom I know that's my age who has a kid's like, oh, football is out of the question.
Well, first off,
I think it should be, just for that alone. Like, even that slight chance.
well, no, because you don't need to take it past like high school, for instance. You don't need to take it
What
to
do
the
you mean?
next. Then people aren't playing in college and pro football.
Right.
Most people sort of fizzle out, when they're 14 or something like that. They're not many make it to the show or make it to the next level. I am saying you can do, maybe have them play 9 to 13 or something like that. Yeah, there's trauma. You can have some adverse effects of that. But there's that's baked into almost every or many things that create character. There's some danger element to it. But we would be, well, first off, if 10 billion people in this country grew up playing Pop Warner football and only a very small minority of them have the CTE after effect, then it's not an epidemic. It's a very small number, and those guys played at the pros. I'm not saying banging your head against another dude is good for you. I'm not. I'm saying not being a weak, soft-ass pussy who doesn't know teamwork is more adverse. That'll affect you longer.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Okay. All right.
I'll accept that.
So, Dwight Howard.
So is tough love going to be an extinct parenting technique?
That's
Yes.
a great question, and that is detrimental to a child's life. Tough love is just as important as soft love. There has to be a balance, and I think it's hard in this society. Parents probably feel pressure to be perfect, and I think a lot of them are too busy posting on Instagram to actually.
Well, because everyone has input now. Everyone inputs on how other people are doing it. So now it seems like they're trying to make a uniform way of raising kids, and once again, it's soft love.
It will be all right. We're having major character issues as a society. We're not raising kids with fucking character. The self-esteem movement is the worst thing that's ever happened to this fucking nation ever, trying to convince every kid that they're the best and the coolest when they've not earned it at all. It's already having effects. People, I mean, you know, when Google or Facebook or Twitter goes, look, 23-year-olds, you have to come into work at least 3 days a week, and they go, fuck that. That's the manifestation of that. You understand?
Yeah, we are experiencing that.
Learn my pronouns. That it's all a manifestation of that. All the shit we're seeing, even the allergies, all the allergies we're seeing is because people aren't out wrestling outside, rolling around in the dirt. Everything is getting wiped down. Everything's getting sterilized. The sterilized is a physical manifestation, and the allergies are physical manifestation, but the emotional manifestation of being Purelling your kid and wrapping them in bubble wrap is that they don't have any intestinal fortitude. They don't know how to deal with adversity. We're fucking our kids up.
I concur. I think that when you have a daughter, for instance, there's got to be a real difficulty in being tough with her because she's this cute little angel, but you would do a disservice to her if you raised her too soft. Like, you know, you've got to toughen a girl up to be able to survive in society.
Yeah, and run period laps.
Yeah, you got to run period laps to be able to handle.
I'm with the coach now.
The yard, the yard adversity.
You know, he should have had you hold up a red flag as you ran those laps too. Just make it known.
Well,
or drag one.
Yeah. I was going to say rag, but that's too gross.
That is really gross. That's a little too far.
I said it was too gross. I admitted it.
We used to have to run bag laps. That's where you
oh no
took the tackling dummy, the big 80-pound tackling dummy, put it on your shoulder and ran laps.
Like firemen carry a dummy?
You take a blocking dummy, not the sled, but the dummy. Which weighed, I don't know, it was like a large heavy bag. And you just go, we're doing bag laps, and put that thing on your back, start running. The one they would do all the time, which I don't think they would do anymore, but it was the best. The best thing a fucking 9-year-old could ever learn is they would line everyone up in front of like the 5-man blocking sled. The sled was the greatest because the coach would stand on the sled.
Yeah, and take a ride.
He'd take a ride, have that whistle in his mouth. Go, 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 dig, 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 dig. But the one they would do all the time, I started playing when I was 7, so I just went all the way through. But there is, I mean, maybe it's my family. Well, look, Max Spada.
Hey.
My dad didn't instill anything into me. Can we all agree on that?
Oh, yeah.
0, right?
Right.
There is no less pussy than me.
Maybe just resent.
Is there any less? Could you be any less of a pussy than me?
No.
There's 0 puss. I'm not bragging. I just have no fucking
You're
puss.
pussless.
I have no pussy in me whatsoever.
Can we
0.
get that? Can we get that on paper? Can we?
It's
that soundbite?
It's chronicle. I'll show you the data.
That should be your epitaph.
I'm at 0.0 pussy because I played fucking Pop Warner football for 7 years before I got to high school, and all I did is get yelled at by fucking fat dudes in windbreakers and bike shorts and tobacco thrown at me and whatever, and I just, all right, unfazed. Completely unfazed by everything. because I was never coddled. But the move they would do, I don't think they would do it today. They'd get everyone lined up on the sled. Had like a 5-man sled.
Yeah, I love this drill.
They'd be like 5 deep, 6, 7 people deep, waiting to cycle through. And then the guy'd hold the ball out. The coach would hold the ball out. He'd be standing on the back of the sled, but he'd hold it out in front of the padded part.
Like dangling a carrot.
And he'd go, get in your stances. Everyone in your stances. They'd get in their stance. And they'd go, now look at the ball. You fire out when the ball moves. And he'd hold the ball out, and then he'd go, down, sit. Hut! People like, hut!
Ball has on some move.
I wouldn't move the ball. But just, hut! And at some point, somebody would lurch forward, and they'd go, Higginstaller, offsides.
Yeah.
Everybody can run a lap now.
No.
Everybody's on a lap. Not just the guys in the front. Everybody's on a lap. And when you're on your lap, thank Higginstaller.
Yeah.
Make sure you thank him.
Not only are you getting punished, but we're going to make everyone hate you, too.
I just got done driving the sled for 10 yards. I'm in the back of the line now sucking gas, and I'm on a lap because I thought I was going to get some rest because I got 6 guys in front of me.
Yeah.
Everyone's on a lap, and all thank Higginstaller.
Fucking Higgins.
Fucking Higginstaller.
Uncomfortable locker room.
Right. Now, Higginstaller learned a very valuable lesson that day. Very fucking valuable. And that shit then translates into the business world, into the job site, into other interactions with Higginstaller. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because now there's a part of you that's going to act in consideration of everybody else as well.
So
Yes.
have you taken note? No more playrooms. We need obstacle courses.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
right.
fully condone
And
a
your
toddler
mom's-
obstacle course and my mom's yardstick.
Mom's yardstick.
Yeah. My sister and I still joke about it to this day because a door where the yardstick was on the other side of had like one of those drafts on the bottom, those plastic like flap drafts. So it was very distinct noise. And it was like,
When she went, like the sword leaving the sheath.
Exactly.
Shink.
She just drags it as she's walking down the hallway.
got the yardstick.
The yardstick is good because it'll sting, it'll hurt, but it will break before a bone breaks.
Which is very dramatic to hear something break while it's hitting you.
But it's a good, as far as parenting, a belt will never break. You could carve a kid up with a belt, but the yardstick, you can only beat your kid so hard before it breaks away.
Right.
It's a good flagellation item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll break before blood is drawn.
Right.
That's good. I think I like your mom.
Smart use of punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish
I'll
I
let her
had the
know. I'll
yardstick.
send her
I
a
had
message from beyond.
I had the
Please.
flip-flop or the belt buckle.
Oh, flip-flop, that's pussy.
Yeah.
That's pussy shit.
Flip-flop was easy. Belt buckle sucked. I remember, or we would kneel on a grill grate.
Kneel on
Whoa.
a grill, like a floor heater?
No, just like a grill grate, like for grilling. But she would just put that on the floor. and
She'd
you would
take it
kneel
off
on
the grill?
Yeah, you
Hot.
would kneel on it. It wouldn't be
Hot
hot, but
knees.
just like it would just hurt. Hot
A
knees.
white hot grill grate.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of Kung Fu.
Yeah, kneel
She
on
would
the
take the
grate.
grill off the barbecue,
Yeah.
set it on the hardwood floor.
And you would kneel on it, and it would hurt like hell, and you'd have to just kneel on it for like 3 minutes.
Was she a Nazi war criminal? Like I
It
feel
was
like
it was a
Dr.
torture
Mengele
technique.
you have to think this stuff
That's
up. Like it's
very
creative.
creative.
It hurt like hell. That, or if you talked back, which basically meant if you responded in any negative way, you a spoonful of hot sauce.
Wow. I had no punishment ever I had no form of corporal punishment. Nobody in my family ever put a hand on me, ever touched me,
Wow.
ever told me to take hot sauce or kneel on a grill or took a belt out or flip-flop.
You got the vibe of someone who took a couple flip-flop in his life.
Never been touched.
One time I went and...
Other people's parents hit me on 2 occasions.
That's interesting.
I was hit by
That's definitely extinct now.
2 other parents.
Is it?
2 separate incidents of being hit by other parents. I don't know anyone who's got that record.
You can't touch other people.
2-0 with other parents. I got 2 belts, 2 whacks in the face from other parents, 0 from mine.
Well, your parents,
Most people don't make it through
Yeah,
a childhood that way.
they should have stepped up
That's
their
an
game.
odd stat.
I got spanked by a neighbor once.
Whoa,
but
that's a different
the other
story.
the other end is my mother has slapped 2 of my friends.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
It takes
got
a
the
village.
opposite.
It takes
Yeah.
a village. We
Wow.
forget that. One time I curiously went to my mom when she was washing dishes and I said the F word to her. I didn't say it at her. I just was curious and she took the whole bar of soap and put it in my mouth.
Really?
Yeah, I got
that's classic.
soaped. I got yardsticked.
I don't know how many people my age, I'm old, were completely untouched by their parents or sailed through a childhood.
Your age is,
That's
That's
rare,
rare.
right?
that's rare.
Yeah, that was pretty ubiquitous when I was young. No, that was my parents. It was part of it was they were sort of socially conscious about like, well, you shouldn't be physically engaging with your kids. Like, I agree with that. I've never put my hands on my kids. I don't think it's a great. Well, first things first. A lot of the studies suggest that kids that got smacked around tend to smack other people around when they get a little bit older, which is definitely something that went on. I mean, anytime you see some kid just going nuts on somebody on a school bus, I guarantee that kid's getting the shit beat out of him at home. So it's like, let's see if we can reel in the physical violence a little bit by not making it part of a conflict resolution. But then also, later on in life, when you screw the pooch, you get fired. Or you get docked, or you get suspended, but you don't get smacked with a stick by your boss. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, the physical part, well, I kind of get it, but I would rather send the message that was a little more like, you fucked up, you must now be grounded in your room for this period of time. You know, some approximation of what being suspended would be like from a job or from school or
Something that parallels real life. Like what
it would be
happen?
nice if instead of getting fired, your boss just hit you with a flip-flop and then you could go back to your desk. But that's not how it works. You get docked, you get suspended, you get fired, or whatever it is. And so a version of that with the kids is probably more consistent message as they go through life.
It'd be pretty sweet if there were levels of flop in boxes, like clean flops, street walked flops, and maybe just inner office walked flops, depending on the severity of.
Yeah, you'd have different grades, different weights.
grades of flop abuse.
Oh,
So if it wasn't too bad, you get a clean flop to the face.
Yeah,
But
and
if
there's also different compounds. Like they used to have flip-flops used to be called Zoris when I was a kid, or Jap flaps. And they were super thin and flexible, right, Dawson? They were super skinny little, like only to be worn to the beach. There was no such thing as anyone putting flip-flops on and going to work. You were a crazy person if you did that. Or, God forbid, a commercial airliner or something like that.
They were just ultra casual.
They were super thin. I mean, they were almost like the ones...
Like those paper ones you get?
No, like at the spa sometimes they'll have like the super, like almost throwaway flops. That's what they used to be.
Yeah, they're sheets of paper. You walk down the street.
So you get hit with one of those, that's for a minor offense, you know? And then you have the thicker, like 3-ply one that has the stiff part in the center. That's a bigger offense. And then you have the ones that have the leather part where your toe goes through.
There's some
That's
snap
for
to
you,
it.
like, that's for you fucking the neighbor
Yeah,
or something like that.
We'll call that.
And you work your way up to a croc.
The croc?
Croc.
The croc crack?
The croc crack.
You better watch out if you
earn
get
yourself
croc-cracked.
a croc. That's like stealing a car and going on a joyride and the cops bringing you back
Crocs
home.
have holes in them. They're like fly swatters. There's no resistance from the air.
I
Yeah,
know,
it's a
and they
little
got
light.
heft. No, they got heft. That's what you're saying.
You have to
Saying
put gibbets on them in order to give it a little bit more oomph.
You can add weights to it too, but
You can add weight. No, I think
might wanna add some
there's
weight.
heft. He's saying it. No, he's saying it goes through. It cuts through the air.
cuts through
Yeah,
the
but
air.
it's a light material, so you need a little bit. That's why
No,
you need a
Crocs more than a flip flop.
I used to wear
croc
Crocs.
more than a flop for sure, but why not take it one next level and go for a Birkenstock?
All right,
They
well
have
then
got some
maybe
weight.
that'll be the end.
Of the spectrum.
But the thing is,
That'll
Crocs
be you got caught robbing a bank.
Sure.
But also,
That's capital punishment.
People that own Birkenstocks don't beat their kids. It's not going
You're
to
not
work.
wrong. They name them Dashel.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
that's
things are-
right. Or Satchel or some
Those things are pretty
something
clear.
stupid.
Satchel Dashel the third.
That's right.
Crocs
You're
are
right.
indestructible. I used to wear Crocs when I was a waiter at one of my jobs, and I would run them through the dishwasher
Really?
at the end of my shift. Yeah,
Aren't they meant for that? Like, isn't
you
it
just,
like
yeah,
a
just
chef?
run them right through. Yeah,
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
a few pairs. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I've said, like, whoever invented the Croc said, we need a shoe that can fall off a container ship, spend 7 years at sea, wash up on the shore, and someone could just put it on and walk home.
And go make a fantastic culinary meal,
Yes, that's essentially what it is.
or do open heart surgery. The Croc
Right.
is a dynamic of the foot
But
that
it
goes in a
could
Croc.
float at sea for 7 years.
For sure.
And be the exact same shape of you pulling it out of the box the first day.
It is the cockroach of footwear.
yeah, they're
Yes,
gonna be here a
they'll
lot
never die.
longer than
Never
we
die.
are.
No, when they go out of fashion, the landfills are just going to be overfilled
Yeah.
with Crocs. Like
Crocs and cockroaches.
people are going, well, they do this thing all the time. Like, what about the plastic straws? Or, well, we can't have a nuclear power plant. Where are we going to bury the waste? We don't have any place to put this waste. You know, someone should think about Crocs because they're going to be out of fashion in about 10 minutes.
You can't
And
destroy them.
The landfills will be brimming with Crocs. They never decompose. They never break down. The seagull will choke if it tries to eat one. This is going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
Croc disposal is going to be one of the major issues of our time. Mark my words.
I did.
In upcoming presidential debates, Croc disposal will come up, and you'll have to have a plan.
Yeah, people are gonna
I
speak
know
to
myself
Congress
alone.
about this.
I have
Yeah.
a lot of Croc waste when I pass. It'll just be
You have
my bones
multiple.
and Crocs.
You have multiple Crocs.
Oh, I got Crocs for every season, buddy. What do you got going on for the weekend? I'll show up with a pair of Crocs.
Are we
Every
at,
occasion.
all right? So can we say this? There are more guns in this country than there are people. All right. There's about 400 million guns and 330 million people. Might we have more Crocs than citizens? Because I'm Crocless.
What?
Yes,
I gotta go.
I have no Crocs, but you have 8 pairs of Crocs.
I even have a Wu-Tang pair of Crocs.
All right.
All right. How many Crocs would you say you have?
That's a personal question.
Well,
I
in,
think she
in
covers
round
every-
Why
numbers.
don't you? I'll give you a ball Croc.
Give me a ball croc. Ball croc.
Ball Croc
I'll ball
estimate.
Croc my Crocs. It's more than 5,
And-
but maybe less than 10.
All right. I would say my
Maybe.
8 estimate was not
That's
too
fair.
shabby. Chris, how you hanging with Crocs?
I have
How's your
0
Croc
Crocs
hanging?
at the moment. Yeah,
0 Crocs.
right.
At the moment.
You got to get a pair of baby Crocs.
Okay. Dawson, you're Crocless.
Crocless.
What?
Yeah.
What is going? For sure, you've got Crocs.
Byron.
Not even when I was a nurse.
Okay, something's
Oh my
going on in
God.
this office.
Never
is-
Crocs. No.
Okay. This is what I'm worried about.
Wow.
They're falling out of favor.
Oh, God.
The kids don't want them anymore. But now they'll never decompose. They'll never break down. I am telling you, 3 years from now, people won't want to be caught wearing Crocs in the wild. They're going into the landfill.
We should
It's a
mark
real
this.
issue.
We should
Right.
mark this time and keep this clip because I beg to differ, and I will even put in a wager, a monetary wager,
That what?
that Crocs will forever be in fashion. It's kind of like jazz, you know.
They're already kind of making fun of Crocs. And fashion always evolves. Jazz and Crocs.
Yep.
You got Kenny G Crocs?
I would love a pair of Kenny G Crocs. If they made a pair of Kenny G Crocs, I would buy them.
I am telling you, we went from peg leg, then we went to bell bottoms. We don't stick with fashion that long. People are already making fun of people with Crocs.
But the thing about fashion is it's revolving. It comes back. People wear bell bottoms. It might not be you because it might be uncomfortable.
But they went away for a decade. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, Crocs may disappear, but they will always reappear on someone's shore.
But if Adam's right, if these things can't decompose in any way, Greta Thunberg's gonna.
She should be
Crocs.
focusing
How
on
dare
Crocs.
you?
Yeah.
All we have to do is take. You know what would be the end of Crocs?
Fire?
I could put Crocs out of business tomorrow.
Don't you do it, Adam?
I take
Don't you
a
dare.
Croc strap. You know, the stupid strap.
Yeah,
that's there?
that's meant for you. Got to kick it to turbo speed.
Turbo
That's
mode,
turbo
yeah.
mode.
What's turbo? Kick
The
it
ankle
back?
strap kicks you into turbo mode.
Turbo mode.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to take
You guys
that.
obviously don't know about Crocs.
I'm going to take the Croc. I didn't know there's a turbo mode.
Yeah, that's what the ankle strap's for.
I'm going to take the Croc ankle strap, right?
Okay.
I'm going to take a giant sea turtle. I'm going to shove the ankle strap up one nostril, and I'm going to take a picture of it looking sad. There will be no more Crocs. That'll be it.
I will cry.
There'll be.
We're gonna evolve to paper Crocs.
I gotta say, fuck those turtles. I love my Crocs.
Can we talk Croc stock? Croc stock. Croc stock.
Gonna
Through the fuck. Gone. Get out now.
Yeah.
If I take one picture of one sad sea turtle with one Croc turbo strap and one nostril, it's all. The party's over.
The way we can solve
That'll be
this, your debate here is if we just did a simple game of paper, scissors, croc, and there's nothing else.
I didn't know there was.
You knew there was
You were
nothing else.
workshopping it. Okay, I got it. It wasn't fully formed.
It wasn't, but I had to say it.
I still had to give you a little time to
Thank
spit
you.
something out. All right.